What's up, everyone? Today I'm flying from Gatwick to Toronto on WestJet's flight number 4 in seat 1K. Here you may notice that I travel with the Pelican Air 1535 as my carry-on. Now, I'll upload a video on it shortly, but I would not recommend it to those who want extra space in their carry-on. Instead, if you're looking for something that will last a long time, this is probably your best bet for a carry-on. Now, before I forget, if you're looking for the business class security line at Gatwick, it's labeled with these premium Gatwick logos. I personally felt this signage was quite unusual. Now, after flying through security, I learned that WestJet's recommended lounge, the club room, had been closed for several months, and the Plaza Premium was reservation only. With that lack of preparation, I ended up spending $30 at Shake Shack. But it was pretty good. Now, after Shake Shack, I hit the JD Sports to see if I could buy any rare sneakers, but I had no luck. The store was full of what sneakerheads would call bricks, and not the good kind. Now, after JD, I did a little more window shopping before heading to the gate, where I found the most ludicrous lineup to enter a non-air-conditioned secured pre-boarding lounge. For obvious reasons, I chose not to enter the pre-boarding area till they began boarding, so I could go straight on the plane and enjoy the air conditioning. Boarding was unusual for me. Once I entered the lounge, I was allowed to walk straight on the plane without any further harassment. If you notice here, I'm walking on the plane with a brand new Wimbledon umbrella, which I accidentally left on the flight. I did submit a lost and found inquiry, but unfortunately the umbrella was not found. Arriving at the seat, there were no surprises. It was pretty conventional, lie-flat business class. However, I did feel that the seat was quite narrow, and that's saying something because I'm pretty slender. The screen does welcome you by name, and you do get two nice tint-controlled windows to play with if you're bored. You also get a nice mat and nat accessory kit, which I will unbox later in the video. I was presented with the menu early on, and when ordering I requested both the starters, and I was unfortunately forced to choose one, which I found to be slightly unusual. After ordering, I proceeded to look around my seat for places to store my things. I was pleasantly surprised when I found a spot for my massive 1400ml water bottle. Although I'm not entirely sure if I was allowed to store it there through takeoff and landing, I was still glad to have this giant bottle out of my way. Later, in an attempt to satisfy my OCD, I proceeded to open and close every single thing I could within my seat area. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Finally, it's time for me to unbox my free stuff. If only I was able to open this in one try, I wouldn't have to shut the camera off and reframe. Now that we have it open, I can show you what's inside. It's not too impressive, but free stuff is always fun. The pouch itself was probably my favorite part. Here we have some airplane socks, some lip balm, I think there was some moisturizer, some wipes, some earplugs, and an eye covering to sleep with. Not the greatest kit, but I was very satisfied with that pouch. I used it to carry things throughout my next trip. Another unusual quirk about this flight was there was a shoulder strap connecting to the seatbelt, which we had to wear during takeoff and landing. I've never had that experience before in a business class flight. Let me know if you guys have done this before. I thought that was kind of unnecessary maybe, but I guess it's safer with the seatbelt on. The entertainment system was pretty good. The selection of movies were not too bad at all. I prefer Air Canada because they have newer releases usually. There was a nice selection here. You can go through the video, see yourself. As this flight was departing from London at the end of July 2022, it was definitely delayed by at least an hour, but the view was quite nice, so I didn't really complain. The clouds were quite incredible. Here's what takeoff looked like. Shortly after takeoff, I had no choice but to get up and use the bathroom, and funny enough, I noticed some ice in the sink. I'd never seen that before on an airplane. Actually, not that much ice. I've seen a little bit of ice, but unusual to me as well. Bathroom was a little small for a business class bathroom. There's no moisturizer, only some hand soap, and I think some sanitizer. The aesthetic was interesting. The blue speckle on the one wall across the mirror was kind of cool, but still a small, normal airplane bathroom. Nothing too special about this one. Meal service started with a Coke and some coconut encrusted cashews, which I thought were honestly not very good. The packaging was nice, they looked pretty, but the snack itself was not amazing. So I thoroughly enjoyed the cutlery during the meal service. I thought it was kind of cool. I got the shrimp appetizer. It came with some guacamole and some other spicy mayo type sauce. Shrimp was pretty good, nice and juicy, no complaints. Bread, not so great. The cutlery, on the other hand, that was awesome. My main course, I went with the chicken breast. It was cooked very well. The potatoes pretty well. Carrots, broccoli, everything was quite nice. When you get chicken breast, it's not so exciting, but it was a satisfactory meal. For dessert, I was served this like fruit cake with a little bit of cream on top and a couple of raspberries on the side. I thought it was like a mediocre dessert, nothing too special. And again, there's that cutlery I was very happy with. I just thought it was pretty to look at and pretty good to use as well. After the meal, it was time for me to make my own bed. There was no real bedding, it was just a pillow and a blanket. I mean, half my business class flights, I get like a nice little piece of bedding I can place on the seat. Half of them, I just get a blanket and a pillow, so I can't really complain. Blanket wasn't too bad. The pillow wasn't too bad either. I did notice that the seat here was quite narrow when I went to put my head down. I really didn't feel like I had much space in front of me when I was staring at the wall, but it was pretty satisfactory to lie down from London to Toronto, so I can't really complain. Here you can see me slightly struggling to tint the windows all the way to the darkest setting. I do not appreciate how long it takes to get the windows to change settings, but it is a cool feature to have. I'd really appreciate a manual blackout that worked quickly here and there, but you can't ask for everything, I guess. The view is still quite nice throughout this flight, I must say. Alright, so after my nap, I was provided with this little snack. I thought one grape with some cheese is pretty irritating because really one grape is not enough. One grape was the biggest tease. It was honestly what killed the flight for me. If I was given like 4 or 5 grapes, I'd have probably enjoyed this a lot better. The salami was pretty good. The cheese was good. There's not much else to say about the snack. Just the one grape was a killer for me. After the snack, we made our way into Toronto. All in all, it was a great flight. I got a really good deal on it, considering that anything leaving London at the end of July 2022 was insanely expensive. And don't worry, I did not pay the price that you're going to see on the screen. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.